Good
Good
morning. Morning, Laura. How are
morning,
you?
Inbaal. Morning, everybody.
Morning, everyone, to Psychic Brunch on the 12th of the 12th. It's 12/12.
I didn't even notice that. Wow. The fact I'm here is enough. I can't, numbers are a little bit too much.
It's very, very exciting. But the number 12 is kind of huge anyway. So more on that later. And the number 12 for anybody that works internationally means that you can put the date the UK way and the US way, and it looks the same.
So useful.
So useful, especially
Confuse everybody.
when you work with star signs and people will put their date of birth and you're thinking, is it a Pisces or an Aries? There's a big difference. We need to know, is it Pisces or Aries?
Yeah, it can be a brain fuddle.
Yeah, you got to figure out by the personality. We've got Sandy already saying
Morning,
blessing,
Sandy.
ladies. Morning, and Poncho Zach greeting us with good morning. Sorry, I'm just moving my camera a little bit.
You're looking gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. It's actually to hide the charity shop bags going out. That's why I'm moving the camera, not to look any more appealing. So, Laura,
it would be impossible to look any more appealing.
Thank you. We're here to share our psychic world with you. Laura here has just submitted half a book
on
the deadline. We have a semi-published author in our midst.
Yes, it's on the way.
Moon Moggy is saying hi. How are you? How are you feeling? Well, having to write half a book mostly through the Mercury retrograde. How was that?
I know. And the Mars retrograde. And I've got Mars in Leo, and it's Mars retrograde in Leo. So it's like anything right now is like, ugh.
Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. I love that though, because I think like the Mars in Leo says to you, how much will you fight to be on that show?
I am fighting.
How hard? Yeah. How much do you want it really? How much do you want your name in lights? You're like,
well, the window in lights.
Yeah, the window in lights. Incredible. What self-care strategies have you taken to get you through this difficult time?
Self what? Coffee.
I want to reach for my coffee, but I finished it. I have water, which is also very, very good for you. But you've been out on your horses?
Oh yeah, that's it. That is it. Yeah. I mean, me bothering horses is my huge self. Like whatever's going on when I wake up in the morning and you kind of wake up with that feeling of, oh God. I'm like, oh, and then yesterday I was like, I'm going to go riding. And for that time, I will not think of anything else apart from just, and it's the most healing thing because horses are healing in their nature.
Yeah.
And also just being with them, you can't really get stressed about anything else. It's just really wonderful. So yeah, bothering them out the back because they've got some horses out the back and going riding is obviously looking after the Queen Star cat are my self-care strategies. But I also know that it's going to, there's going to be a little bit of a break soon. I think if you know you're going to have a little bit of a stop just to recover, you're okay, aren't you? You just have a finishing points to get to.
Yeah. So you can drag yourself there by the... But yeah, I've had so much like writing stuff coming in, like magazine things and that. And at one point, I was like, okay, this is a little bit too much. And then a couple of them put the deadline to January. And I was like, oh, January is a whole other year. I might not have to do it for age. That is another year. So I've got them like in my schedule in January. In my imagination, the 14th of January 2025 is such a long way in the future that it doesn't need worrying about at this stage. When reality hits, it'll be different, but that's tomorrow's problem.
But also, I think that space between the worlds, between December and January, is this. It's different, isn't it? There is this kind of, even though time's going to move past, there is something about this sort of space which feels very different. So in a way, January does feel like, it will come, but we'll have that moment of like, oh, it's all fine.
Yeah. And if you're anything like me, by the time January comes, or at least for the first sort of 2 months of the year, my optimism hits fever pitch. Like I'm fairly optimistic at the worst of times. But I get really happy at the start of the week. Who's happy on a Monday? Inbaal is happy on a Monday. I get really excited on a new moon. Super happy at the start of a new month. Obviously, full moon, also not leaving that behind. The start of a year. So much focus and energy in it. Absolutely. My mind is blown. And I don't even sort of stay up till midnight. The start of the year, first of all, the good start to the year is if I am able to be asleep for it. I feel like I've really hacked life. I've hacked it. Wake up in the morning. It's a new year. We made it. And the promise that holds in my imagination is just, it's beyond legendary. It's almost to the point of being disgusting. You don't want to be around me January 1st. I'm so thrilled. So if there is too much work and I have to be awake for 36 hours, that's blessings of 2025.
Exactly. Well, I've got to put a lot of the other book in by January, the mid-January. And I'm like, oh yeah, that of course will be done because that's it's January.
Yeah. Do you know when January is? So now we're in the 12th of the 12th. We're coming up to the end of at the end of the weekend. We will have gone out of Mercury retrograde. We will have gone out of. Oh yeah, we will have had the full moon.
Yeah, full moon.
Gemini.
Yes.
Yes.
And we'll be heading towards the solstice, won't we? We'll be rolling into that darkest night, aren't we?
We'll be days away from the solstice. And that's really exciting as well. And the fact that the full moon and the end of the Mercury retrograde intersect is, on the one hand, really, really exciting. On the other hand, was anyone super surprised that like their streaming platforms and their what do you call it, social media platforms have decided to just exit yesterday? And when they started sort of going back, I could see sort of quite a few friends putting up posts going, is yours malfunctioning as well? Who didn't put up posts like that? Anyone around astrology.
I was waiting for it. Like, okay, there it is.
Yeah, exactly. And you get impatient because there's been like 3 weeks of the Mercury retrograde already. Nothing really dramatic has happened. Where is it? We're all waiting. Yeah. Where is it? Okay, yesterday. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. It happened.
Yeah, no, it's funny how we, like, civilization stumbles that we know it after like the last, how many years we've been using social media? It's probably 20 years.
You 20, me 5. 15 years of resistance came to an end.
Yeah, exactly. It's impressive.
I'm not doing it. I'm still determined not to enjoy it.
We're just going to go. I think part of me goes, oh, I can just do something else for a little bit without having to think about that, which sometimes is quite a relief.
Yeah. No, it is a relief. When, before you go to sleep, I've got 2 phones, which I know makes it sound sort of really, really dodgy, but it's just like each one is for different platforms. I find it easier because this one is the less important one, so I can put it on flight mode way before, and that kind of leaves some things behind. But for me, that moment in the evening, when I say evening, I mean 1 a.m., when I put both phones on flight mode, I can fall asleep literally automatically because I know that this is it. The day is done. That is symbolic. I'm unavailable.
Yeah.
And, Mercury can go to sleep. It can't bother me now.
No, it's true. I do that. Airplane mode.
Yeah, that's it. So we were thinking if anybody would like any affirmations, something to say on the final full moon of the year, called the cold moon. I learn a lot as I have to write about it. The final full moon of the year, the full moon is a great time for manifesting. And as it's final full moon, let's, manifest an amazing 2025. If you'd like an affirmation, I don't have any affirmation cards because I never steer too far from the tarot. But if you want an affirmation via the tarot, ask for either Yeah, it's right. And it's baked right in.
Exactly.
Ask for an affirmation for the full moon, or ask for an affirmation for the year ahead. And we're going to be with you, getting you some affirmations. I was thinking about you yesterday and all the belly dancing. I don't know why that came
Yeah.
to mind.
Yes, I haven't been doing it so much recently and I've been really missing it. So yeah, that'd be my new year, getting back into dancing. Well, there's no classes around here, but I can do it anyway, online.
You can do it. Yeah. When you moved to where you are, you needed classes. You had like a DVD, didn't you? I remember your DVD.
I love my DVD. No, nothing has DVD players anymore. When you buy things, nothing has a DVD player. I'm like, I've got all these I was like, oh.
So we had, just until a few months ago, we had a machine under the TV that had a DVD and a VCR, which I used to put all my VCRs onto DVD. And so cool. I just had to give it up because it sadly reached the end of its techie little days. But yeah, we actually had a VCR in the house until not too long ago. I still hold on to my fitness DVDs. I've got a Pilates DVD, which is not available on YouTube, so I'll hold on to it. And I've got 2 Davinas, absolutely love her. And I've got a couple of American ones that I don't even know where I got. And the girl sort of encourages you in a way that is just so much more enthusiastic than what we get here from UK DVDs.
Yeah. And when I first started listening to American workouts, I was like, whoa, calm down. But now I'm like, oh, I need this. Like, I listen to a UK one. I'm like, sorry, you're not encouraging me enough. I'm going back. No one's called me a rock star in like 5 minutes. I'm going.
Yeah. Goodbye. I love that approach. Yeah. I think that belongs in fitness. When you do like online yoga, Pilates, lovely home counties accent, very, very soothing. If you need me to jump, you better tell me to jump. Don't take it at your own pace. If I take it at my own pace, I'm not jumping.
No, exactly. If you said do 20 more burpees, I want you to really want me to do 20 more burpees. Like, really.
Do it like you mean it. But yeah, so maybe let's do a New Year affirmation for you.
Oh, yay!
Yay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Excitement then. I was like, yes, please.
Yes. And then we'll do everybody else.
And I'll do one for you.
Oh, thank you. I never ask for readings. Very exciting. Right. Do you know, babe, your New Year affirmation is to go away. Adventure. Yeah, no, don't go there. Wait to the end of sentence. Let's make this an affirmation. Adventure takes me to exactly where I need to be. Adventure takes me where I need to be.
Love that. I love the word adventure. And I love that.
Yeah. And I think what this says here is that if you feel like taking time away from work or taking time away from your life is kind of secondary because holiday is not as important, this tells you that what you do and who you are is your entire brand identity. So it makes good business sense to go on adventures. It's consistent with your brand. Your brand is who you are. And look how red it is.
Look happy and little lion and everyone's happy. Cool. Yeah. Okay. I love the Aries. I just jumped in before you just go away. Okay.
I'm going.
Right, let me give you one. Then everyone can see what they're going to get with their affirmations.
Oh, so Isa is saying happy psychic second breakfast. Hi, Isa.
You've got happy psychic breakfast. You've got the Queen of Swords, which is very Athena and Owly, isn't it? This is very Athena and Owly. And look at there's lots of books underneath her. She's sitting on lots of books. It might be time for that wisdom, all those years of wisdom to be compiled in ways that are going to benefit you and elevate you, because she's sitting on them, and from that space she's choosing what she wants and choosing what she doesn't want. So I feel my wisdom is recorded in 2025. My wisdom is something like that. My wisdom is recorded. My wisdom is my what is it when you leave something to other people, when you kind of leaving it, not inheritance, but the opposite of inheritance, you leave we'll find the word, what you leave for somebody else, so sort of you're giving it, your life's work you're giving to other people. I'll find the word for it. If anyone's watching, they know the word, because it'll hit me at some point, this word.
I'm putting my wisdom is on the 2nd of January.
My gift to others, really, maybe is a good way to say my gift to others until I think of the legacy. Legacy.
Wow.
My wisdom is my legacy. Yes.
Wow. Woo. I'm putting it in my, I still have a paper diary.
Paper diaries are the
You
best.
might have got me on social media, but you're not getting me away from my paper diary.
Yeah. No, it's true. Paper diaries don't crash on you.
They don't. You can always access them, and you know they come in all the colors. My wisdom is my legacy. Thank you very, very much for this really, really exciting affirmation, and it's something that we'd like to do for all of you. Affirmations for me are the best type of magic. They are effective. They can fit in, says the girl who didn't do her affirmations this morning because I was like, okay, I'm in a rush, I can just skip a day. But they do fit in. It's just that me, maybe I don't fit in. They fit in anywhere, and you can go like fluid with them. You can change them whenever you want. They're even from the perspective of like full spells and, you know, technicolor candles and deities and, you know, the most intense form of prayer. I still think affirmations are, you know, the ingredient that beats all other ingredients. It's
they have a nice hook, don't they, in your brain? They can hook in like things can't very easily. That just goes, oh yeah, that's becomes part of your life easier.
Yeah. And for my affirmations, I literally use like finite amounts for, you know, for things that I want to gain. I'll use them for health. I'll use them for, you know, kind of the household dynamics. Today, my children will not kill each other. No. It's all positive. It's all positive. But even when things were really difficult in the house, getting into that affirmation, I used to do my affirmations in the nighttime then. Now I do in the morning. But getting to the nighttime affirmations and reading an affirmation about love. And I'll be reading it and crying because I thought love was such a pipe dream. Just survival is really, that's all I should be wishing for. But I made the love affirmations are really bombastic. Why not, you know, why not reach for like the top? And that was a real moment to connect with what is possible and what is, you know, because anything is achievable emotionally. Anything is achievable. You can, you know, talk your way into any kind of emotional balance within yourself.
Exactly. I think it's that's why the people that maybe don't question themselves so much kind of just woof off they go because they just believe it, and there's not that lack of kind of you know, that internal battle. If the people, you see the people out there, they go, what, they have it so easy? No, they just believe it and they get there. We just have to kind of train our brains to get off that treadmill of oh no, but I can't, and you know.
So I'll tell you something really interesting. I was asked to comment about the different ways that people sleep. So there's like a, you know, like a research, people that sleep like this, people that sleep like that, like the Superman and that. So, you know, so it's quite interesting, isn't it? There's people that sleep like that and they're sort of more defensive. And there's people that sleep, you know, like that. And they're like, you know, come get me, and compare it with the two most common sleeping positions for the highest earners.
Wow.
And you know how the highest earners sleep? Like
not like in a ball, not in a ball.
Yeah. They are not defending, they're not protecting, they are jumping out 10 times. They might be failing 9, but they're still jumping out. And to me, that was so fascinating because they're not cautious, they're not careful. And it's, I think when we sort of mix confidence with earning, of course, we're not sort of counting in the certain amount of privilege. You know, maybe these people are so confident because there was money there when they were born. It's possible. But for that to be sort of the most obvious personality trait, I thought was very, very telling. And whereas, you know, we can't really adopt other people's um, birth denominators, and and born wealth, and social location and so on, we can certainly adopt a sort of a belief system, the self-belief that is required to keep jumping and making the most out of the hand that you were dealt.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it can't hurt, can it, to adopt some patterns that have been successful? It can't make you any worse off.
Yeah. That's literally, you know what? Whenever I sort of send an email where I think, wow, I am cheeky, the final thought that goes through my head before I press the send button is, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
And off it goes.
And off it goes.
But you also have to be like really, really okay about hearing the word no.
Yeah.
Have to be like really, really fine with it. If the word no crushes you, work on that first.
Yes, that's it. That's definitely it. And I was thinking with the tarot as well, like when you get a card that's sort of like your affirmation or your focus point, when I ever get things like the Queen of Wands, which is my favorite, if I'm having a day where I just feel like curling up in a ball and everything can go away, with the tarot, it helps you fake it till you make it. It's like I have to adopt that energy to get into a good space. And when you think that, you don't have to be that, but you have to, okay, I'm going to dress like that. I'm going to walk into a room like that. And then that will then create the responses that bring it. So if there's an affirmation that comes up for you guys and you're like, yeah, but I don't feel like that today, there's something wonderful with the tarot. It shows you visually what you need to create to kind of manifest, to make that happen.
Yeah, that's such a good point. So if you respond to colors, if you respond to a specific word in the card. So for me, when you took the Queen of Swords, I was really sort of taken aback because because I love the Queen of Swords. I see my mum in the Queen of Swords, who was sort of very nicely spoken in Hebrew.
Yeah.
A little bit so in English, but second language. When I had like years ago, I had to like pull a card for like a TV thing for Kate Bush, and I was like, absolutely Queen of Swords, not discussing it. No, don't at me. Absolutely Queen of Swords. Wrote her own music, retained creative control in what was then a male-dominated industry, and made it through. Was it like 37 years? How long was it before Running Up That Hill was in the charts then? And then when it came back again?
Approximately, that's a long time. Yeah.
It's a long time. Absolutely Queen of Swords. But I have been really struggling with my wisdom. Really struggling because I would normally not like listen back to anything that I record. And because we do stuff together, then I've had the bad fortune of hearing myself speak. So in my imagination, my English is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Not when I hear it, not when I hear it back. When I listen back and I think, wow, if I could edit it, it's not that they are mistakes, but there's stuff where I can really tell that this is a second language effort, where it's almost the right word if we were speaking like German, where the phrase is clearly borrowed from something, but very unclear from what. And when I write, I'll edit it, and then I'm like, no hassle. So this sentence was a little bit backwards. Let's straighten it and then send it. But if I listen back to like a podcast answer that I gave, I think, wow, on the accent, wow, on the choice of words, where did that even come from? So your affirmation for me was so comforting, because that is exactly. And I'm a confident person. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm winning this with this English or without this English. It's fine. It doesn't make me feel.
English is great.
Thank you. It doesn't make me feel.
The most English people, to be fair. Myself included,
It doesn't make me feel like less of a person, but it really is something that's sort of been playing on my mind, where I'm thinking it's like reality and my imagination have not been quite the twins that I thought they were. I mean, it never is. I'm Pisces.
Never should be,
Reality is
really.
not my forte anyway. So if anybody's sent in messages, we'd love to see you. I saw that we had some welcoming messages from Isa. Hi, Isa, and thank you for the follow. We've seen some messages from Scott. So when it scrolls up, we're going to jump right into...
I think John asked for something, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was an affirmation, I think, but I'll just...
Ooh,
I saw it go past. And he said that he was, his Freya's his goddess. He said that. So,
oh, that's amazing. Let's do a couple of affirmations for him then.
Okay.
Right, got a really nice one.
Oh, cool. 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Oh, look at the colors.
I love it. Absolutely. The sun and the green and the yellow.
Same colors. Oh,
I just love that. I mean, they are different cards, but they don't need to be, because you've got the circle and the circle of the Fool, the circle of the cave. Do you want to go first, or shall I? I don't mind.
Yeah. So the Fool is completely fearless. The story of the Fool is that he steps off the cliff and he believes that he's going to be just fine. I had 2 dreams about that yesterday, and I didn't figure out what they were until just now with the Fool. That's good. And so the affirmation that you've got from this, John, is no matter what happens, the universe got my back. The universe has got my back. So not even no matter what happens, just the universe got my back.
Yeah.
Lead with it. And what affirmation have you got there for John?
I just love the colors. I mean, that's so good. Like the colors that you can work in with that feeling of the universe has got your back is yellow, orange, which is solar plexus, sacral chakra. So you've got that sense of confidence and warmth and knowing, which opens up your heart with the green. And when your heart's open, the universe does generally play ball. Like there's a sense of just being in that flow, being in the right place at the right time. But you've got the Princess of Pentacles, and it's a gift of creativity, it's called. And the feeling is here that from this place is you can create something that you want to next year. And it's almost like having the faith that came up in the Fool card to take a step away from your what is reality now to really embody and to explore either creating your life in a slightly different way or creating something, whether that be a business or a spiritual path or whatever. I know you're working a lot with kind of environmental issues, so you could, whatever you want to do, you can take that energy and create something from it. And with the Fool, it's saying taking that leap to create something you really, really wish to bring into the world. And it's safety. Both of these cards represent safety through being protected, safety through being open. So yeah.
Amazing. Oh, when you said environmental, I got all emotional. That's beautiful. Oh.
I love the colors of the greens as well. It's also like very good for that kind of feeling.
Exactly. So Issa sent a message to say how much he loves the Fool colors as well. And he asked a very intelligent question of us, that might floor us. But he asked, what method do you use to find the significator in a reading? I'm going to go first because I'm going to let you know that I read the cards casually and in my own relationship with them, as opposed to being like a real Thoth scholar. And I say that sort of throughout my big Thoth course. I am a fan. I am not an academic. So when I do like a reading for a person, then the person is themselves the significator. Do you know what I mean? So the relationship of each card, oh, bless John, the relationship of each card with the person is kind of what I'm reading. The only situation where I use something that is significator like, sorry, do you say she? I'm so sorry, Issa. I thought it's Issa like Jesse in Arabic. Oh, I'm sorry, Issa. She. Sorry. Mwah. Apologies. But the only situation where I use something that is like a significator is if I do a relationship reading, and then I'll just take the star sign of the person who is having the reading. So, for example, the art for a Sagittarius, and then the card that represents the star sign of the person that they're asking about. I was going to say the person they're with, but they're not always with them. The person of the person they're asking about. So, say for example, the Hierophant for Taurus, and sometimes there's extra people there, not here to judge, just here to to give information. And so I use them as significators, but again, it's really like having the person here, so that some of the qualities of the star sign bear a relationship with the cards that the person draws. But I know that for proper Thoth scholars, there's lots of complex mathematical ways of getting like a proper significator out. I don't have any of that. What I do have is, when I finish laying all the cards, the remaining deck, I will turn it upside down, and then the top card will be kind of a viewing card for me. So it's kind of similar to a significator. Asa says, love you, Inbaal. Thank you, darling. Love you back. Laura, do you want to add to it anything?
Yeah, I mean, I probably can't offer anything that's that different, because I find if I wait to stop to choose a significator, I'm stopping the flow. It's like when I start, I just start, and if I go, oh wait a minute, then I just feel like, oh, that's put a book in the way. But what I do is I'll pick a card, 2 cards for where they are, who they are at the moment, because even though I've got a significator for myself, because it's nice to have that, it's not what I'd use necessarily in a reading. It's just something I'd use, like we were saying, with the Queen of Wands, or it's like that's an energy that you're working with if you're wanting to bring something in. But for a reading, I don't stop or to think. They shuffle, I shuffle, we go. And because I think even if you have got a significator, it's like I've got a favorite color. Doesn't mean I'm not going to represent other colors at different times of the day, the year, the month, the mood. So it doesn't always represent someone. It just doesn't. It doesn't sometimes help for me, because where they are now at that point when they ask for the reading is what's important. And they could be normally the King of Swords, but today they're feeling the 5 of Pentacles. So that sort of feeling is like, if I'm for myself, I'm like Queen of Wands, Princess of Wands. That's my vibe. I'm happy with that, to use it as an energy, but not really in a reading, just because that mathematical process is like me and him. We're not, we're flowers, not showers.
Yeah. We're both intuitive readers in kind of slightly different ways, but certainly sort of arriving at intuition. Although I love how you sort of gave it an Aries vibe. Can I stop you to ask questions? You're like, absolutely. In the end, can we stop this? Yes. When I finish talking, you will know that this is done.
Oh no, I do let them ask questions. I do let them ask questions. Yeah, I do. I don't go, shut up, silence. But to stop the process, I think you get a process of how you work, isn't it? And to think of a significator is not in that process of how I work.
Yeah, so Issa says, so it doesn't always have to be a court card. I'm going to say something really controversial. It doesn't always have to be anything. Whenever you hear the word, always get suspicious.
Yeah. My major arcana card's the Emperor, and I do most decks. I'm like, oh no, thank you. I don't want to be the Emperor. That's just stressful. So it's like, if you might not get on with the one how it's depicted in the major arcana. You've got to resonate with it as well, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I think the court cards are probably the hardest ones to relate to for almost everybody. I find very few people that find the court cards easy. And it took me, I would say, over 20 years to even develop a relationship with the court cards, because the 16 court cards, to me, represent all the different types of personalities.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound judgmental, but what are the odds that you would get on with more than 50%? Even 50% is generous. So all the swords, problematic. I said that, I love the Queen of Swords and I see my mum in it. Hey, mother issues. So, so there's all the swords, problematic. The water signs where I see myself in it, another different type of problematic. So the court cards were, to me, an almost inaccessible part where I'd have to read it by like the actual like book meaning. And it's not until maybe a few years ago that I was able to sort of connect to them differently. And now I'm like on a mission to get everybody to view the court cards and the relationships between them as like, you know, a whole unit divided into 16. I was kind of questioning myself, like, are there 16 of them? Yes, there are.
We're not maths. We don't do the maths.
Yeah, no, I'm almost 100% sure there are 16 because there's 4 and 4. And what I found sort of really rewarding is putting all of them in a grid where you've got the element and where you've got like the, you know, denomination, like all the queens in a row. And then you see how different they are to one another, but how similar they are to one another. And without wanting to go sort of too far with that, in motherhood, which was kind of the newer version of me, not the favorite version, but, you know, newer, in motherhood, everybody's different. Everybody's different, and you're sort of sitting around with people who have a really different approach to nutrition and a really different approach to potty training. And in all of those things, with the hormones and everything, it's so easy to get judgmental.
Yeah.
But boiling it down, and I think that's kind of representative of literally anywhere in life. That was just like the newer version of me, but it would be like, you know, when you go to university and everybody's got like different ways of studies, or when you go into a new job and people have different approaches to timekeeping or to, you know, keeping their bodies private, anything. When, for me, then, when I see the queens all in a row, or, you know, here in the South, like the princesses all in a row, the differences between them superimposed on like actual people shows how they're all equally worthy of love, equally worthy of respect and appreciation. And I found it sort of really transformational. Sorry, I know I went really far with that, but thank you, Issa, for getting that conversation going.
No, it's a good question. I think it's hard, but when looking at the court cards, it's like you could think of maybe the Empress as a Queen of Pentacles in a more normal way. The Empress is an unattainable ideal for us in our daily lives. It's an aspiration. It's an amazing energy. But to see this is the Empress brought into motherhood, brought into life, brought into daily, you know, you can see there's almost aspects of the major arcana that are quite, whoa, that's amazing in how it brings into normal life. And the ones we challenge with, like the swords, I like the Queen of Swords and the Princess, but the masculine swords, I just block out. I just don't even know how to deal with them sometimes, especially the King. So it's like, that's our challenges then. That's our own ways. Okay, what part of that is my challenge, is my struggle? Do I have? So it's a really good thing to look at if you are not liking some of them, to see what part of you is going reject. What do you not want to deal with in that personality aspect? You don't have to deal with it, but it's good to know it.
Absolutely, because I think that's probably true for like all the cards, very much for the major arcana as well, in a sense for the minor arcana, but there's a difference between, I think, the minor arcana that are depicted with concepts and the ones that are depicted with people. But in the court cards, you absolutely cannot avoid it. There is nowhere to hide. You're dealing with archetypes, personality types, memories of people that you used to know, representations of people that you right now know. And it's really, really okay to dislike some of them. That's fine. It's normal. You're human. You don't have to like everybody. You're not me. And I can tell you that is not a good way to be half the time. But the kind of mirroring of things that you find that you don't like about yourself, the mirroring of things that you find that you don't like about sort of people from the past. And when I say people, I generally mean like, you know, parents, teachers and stuff, people from the past, people that you feel still sort of haunted by right now, I think is very, very meaningful. So I don't want to sort of stop my own self, but it is now the 12th of the 12th. And here in the UK, it is 12 minutes past 12. Woohoo!
Oh, we're 12%. Yes, let's do our affirmations, our positive energy. Yes.
Yeah, send them in. In the meantime, is 12 a number that you connect with? You like it?
Yeah. It's me. I'm not really bothered by numbers. I don't really mind.
Oh,
It's not
no,
something no.
There's something about 12 that I think is very what do you call it, like very astrological, very sort of timekeeping-y. We've got the 12 signs, we've got the 12 houses.
It's nice, and it reduces to 3. I like 3. 3 is a number I like.
Me too.
3.
Yeah,
it comes down
very
to
Empress.
I don't say I'm not bothered about numbers. I just don't have ones I don't like, really. I just go, yeah. But yeah, it's nice. It's a warm feeling. I think if they feel warm, number 12, doesn't it? It feels like, oh, that's nice. It feels warm.
Cozy. Yeah. I'm a 3. If I add like all the numbers for my date of birth, it comes up to 21, and then 3.
Nice.
What's your number?
No one likes a 5, but I'm 5.
No, my mom was a 5.
Really?
Yeah. There's something about 5 where it's like, it's my way. It's really okay for you to like it or to don't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't ask.
Exactly, didn't ask. But it's like
it wasn't a question.
The tarot makes it sound very disastrous of the 5, doesn't it? But then again, 4 can be dull as dishwater. Someone has to come along and say, that's boring. We can't do that forever. We've got to change it. But also it's I like the creative aspect of 5. It's like, let's create something new. You look at the tarot, it's like, 5.
Yeah, but 5 just sort of breaks the order. It brings something new. It's the 5th element. And again, it's sort of just like with the court cards. I really like sort of laying all the cards out you see, I need to get a new hobby. I like laying all the cards out to see how the different 5s are similar to each other, how the different 6s are similar to each other. And first of all, the 5s don't really do you dirty as some of the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm pulling out the 5s. And also they come and disrupt things when things need disrupting.
Yes.
And I thought it was kind of funny that over the last couple of years, like in marketing and in like coaching spaces, disruptor has suddenly become a really positive word. How would you describe yourself? I'm a disruptor. I don't know, you might not want to say that out loud, but the ethos of disruptor is somebody that doesn't just accept things as they are. It's somebody that sort of comes in and creates a change. So at least in the Thoth, 3 of the 5s have got pentacles, a little bit upside down, fine. And this one without a pentacle is still phenomenal because it's got like the wings on top. So for me, I'll see this as work hard. You're getting there. I know it's hard. You're still doing it. The best way out is through. Keep doing.
Yeah.
This guy to me reminds you that, you've got nobody to confide in, nobody to talk to. And that's kind of a 5 aspect, isn't it? That you don't want to say anything negative. How are you? Great. You could be sort of trapped under a crane. How are you? Yeah, not bad. What are you doing for Christmas? I'm fine. Yeah. So that's this 5. This one, I suppose, is not
hydration.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of watering and it'll be okay. And this one gets to a point where call for help, babe. No, just call for help because help is possible. And, for me, even in the Rider-Waite-Smith, where you've got like the 5 pentacles in the church window.
Yeah, go into the church. Go into the building.
my sort of top meaning that I lead with that one is no. Call them from the outside, get them to come out. But no, for me, the meaning is help is at hand.
Yeah.
Isa says, could I have an affirmation if there's time? Yeah, there's loads of time.
Of course you can. Right.
Shall we do a double affirmation?
Yeah. Let's have a look for Isa. Oh, okay. 2 came out. Well, we'll have to combine them beauties because they're beauties. The Emperor and the 10 of Cups. What did you get?
The Lovers.
Oh, that that combines. That works. That is exactly.
Yeah, it's like the Emperor.
Cards.
Yeah, should we put them together? The Emperor and the Ten of Cups. Wait, let's do something nice for Isa. We'll put them close so you can take a screenshot and trim it. Don't want
Sorry,
it.
the straightness on this is
pretty. Let's do that. It doesn't have to be straight. Some of the best people aren't.
That was
there
really
you go.
for
That's for your screenshot, Isa. So yeah, do you want to jump forward with an affirmation? Do you want me to start?
I love this. I don't love the Emperor
you?
generally. As in, I like its energy, but it's just a little bit harsh. But I love this forward motion, this willingness to make a change, to move forward, paired with the harmony of the Ten of Cups, which is called Heart Song here, and I really, really love it. So gentleness. I'm glad you snapped it. I'm glad that moment was captured in your phone. And I'm sorry for the face I pulled. There's a communion, in which the Lover's card is communion as well, of this beautiful emotional self and this power to move forward, to achieve your dreams. So whatever you're loving, whether it be a relationship, whatever you're wanting to bring in that is love and open and wild and gorgeous and filling your soul with beauty, you have the power to go for it, to make it so. Pull the right card. There we go. This is proper Captain Picard, like make it so. This is like we're going to do this. We're going to move forward. We're going to make it happen. What are we going to make happen? What we love. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I love that you said Captain Picard, and the image I had in my head was of Captain Steubing from the Love Boat.
I don't know what the Love Boat is. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Not even sure.
Google later, Captain Steubing. Also, if anybody here is a little closer to my age, that was funny. I
just love that was funny.
That was funny. But yeah, what I've got here, as Laura said, is so similar, Isa, because it shows another snap for the album, because it shows how the different aspects of you work so harmoniously together. I want to go with that affirmation, but I'm trying to get the word no out of it. So the affirmation I have is, I don't need to choose, but how do I make it positive? I can choose both. I
choose all I desire. I choose all I desire.
Yeah. I know. I choose all. Choose all. Trim it. I choose all. I choose all, because both with Laura having two cards that show two different aspects of who you are, and with the Lovers showing both aspects of who you are, you have no need to decide which side of it is the true you. Are you the traditional person, or are you the alternative person? Are you mature, or are you juvenile? Are you a big love person, or are you a big independent person? Both. I demand that you do not choose. If the world has a problem defining you, let the world have a problem. It's got bigger problems. It's never going to get to you. It's got so much to solve right now. What's the worst that can happen? Isa says, I'm flying back to Bahrain for Christmas and sort of live a double life with my family. Say to everybody in Bahrain that Inbaal said, Ahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Mwah. It's a very nice hello in Arabic.
Beautiful. Sounds beautiful.
And you can start dropping into that double life, saying that's very helpful. Start dropping in little alternative things, because before you know it, maybe, Auntie Fatma would be like, oh, actually, when I was younger, we used to do things like that as well. And you can drop something into conversation, and then, even from the masculine side of the family, they'll be like, oh yeah, we heard that that's how things are in the West. Because if you're now coming in as, Isa from abroad, international, then you've got kind of the open door to bring different things in. So yes, I choose all. I don't even want to limit it at I choose both. Both is not enough. More. All of them. Choose all of them. Oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah. And to get the sense as you choose all that you wish for chooses you. I just feel like they can see you. So I just get that sense of as you choose all, it's bringing all of those different aspects to you. It just feels very magnetic, doesn't it? Just like
yeah. So Isa says she's in Manchester. I'm just on the other side of the mountains, waving at you. Manchester is over there to me, waving at you. So yeah, Manchester is like where Manchester, where the insanity was born. You can come in as Isa from Manchester. I would go in with that brand. I would trademark it. Who's coming to visit? Oh, it's the family, and Isa's just come in from Manchester. And that really, I think it gives you permission to bring in all sorts of stuff. I certainly play on it when I go back as much as possible. Oh yeah, that's how people wear it in Yorkshire. can get away with all sorts of pajamas in public.
This is the UK way.
It's the UK way. Yeah, exactly. Fabulous. Does anyone else fancy an affirmation before we start to sign off? And then I think I've only got like one more week before I've got to take a couple of weeks off. So yeah, we've got one more next week. Are you around? Are you available, Laura? You looking diary? Have you got a party?
Yeah, I'm looking at diary. Yeah, I am. Yeah,
incredible. But yeah, if anybody else fancies an affirmation,
Laura's available too.
Is she good?
I love how she gets to almost the hour and starts complaining. She's like, "Now you've talked too much, Mum. Can you just shut up?" She waits for about 50.
I really think animal hour is shorter because I see that with clients that have dogs, and then at about 50 minutes, which is what an hour is. Like, when you're a psychiatrist, an hour is 50 minutes. That's very telling. But at about 50 minutes, they start sort of yelping, grabbing the strap, going to the door, scratching. Yeah. 50 minutes in. That's just a different hour. Moon Moggy John is sending us lots of love. So shall we do an affirmation for Grizz since he's working so hard behind the scenes? Everybody,
absolutely.
Put a big hand for Grizz, who is producing today, pulling all the levers, pushing all the buttons, and producing all the shows on the platform at the moment. Wow. Grizz,
okay,
your affirmation is coming out.
Woo! Yes, it was so good it fell off the table. Look at the strength card coming at you.
Look at that. And look how it radiates in all the different directions.
So in this deck, I love all the decks of all the strength. Oh, but have you got 6 of swords? So it's almost
right. So I've got 6 of swords in the same kind of way. It radiates in all directions.
I love that. My power radiates in all directions. It's going to be quite a good, yeah.
That's a good one.
So the strength card I love because they're riding a dragon. Awesome occupation, I think we can all agree. But having the power to not only be able to do that energy, the dragon representing the wild, the ancient, the powerful energy, being able to have I don't think it's control, because this strength card is not about control. It's relationship, it's union, and it's harmonious with the most powerful aspects of life. And having that is allowing you to connect with a deeper power, a more expansive power. And it is your time to be in the limelight or to be behind the scenes at 5 a.m. Either way, it's your time to shine, to be in that limelight. And I think time to shine is probably quite a good affirmation as well. Like, it is your time and you have every right to be there and up there and doing it, and to kind of almost be standing ahead of the crowd doing it as well.
Fabulous. So time to shine is a fabulous affirmation. And like I said, this one radiates. Grace says yes. But what I find really, really fascinating, like in this whole deck, there's a lot of Christian iconography in the crosses. And because I don't come from a Christian background, it took me years to understand what this is saying. And I might not come from a Christian background, but I do come from, what do you call it? The mathematics of folding things. like not engineering, what you learn at school, geometry. Yes, I do come from a geometry background. And if you fold this entire cross the way it is, it gives you a full clear box. Very, very good shape, very, very handy. And to me, this card says any direction is the right direction as long as you're starting from the heart. Any direction is the right direction. So this is your time to shine, like Laura says, but it also says you cannot make wrong choices. All the choices are right because you're doing it from the heart. At any moment of questioning, you go back and you say, is this aligned from my heart? Is this not from with my heart? Is it aligned with who I am? And if the answer is yes, then the direction is correct. The direction is perfect for you. So I love this. This is so your 2025 affirmation snap is, this is my time to shine. And my heart is always right. My heart is always right.
Which goes with this one, because this, you can't work with this energy unless your heart is in it. It's not a mind thing, it's a heart thing, isn't it? So they both come from the heart, which I just
absolutely. And I love that it's a strength card, because strength is associated with Leo. And to me, that means that if big changes are coming, then the biggest change is August, Leo time.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. Love it. Such beautiful energy. Woohoo.
Brilliant.
And also because yours is very Aquarian, so we've almost that crossroads between Aquarius and Leo, which is the opposites. That could be both the power times, couldn't it? Something set up in February goes into Leo, that kind of feeling.
Yeah. So it's the axis. It sort of the polar opposite goes from February all the way to August. Amazing. We've come to the end of today's show. This has been
decided.
This has been your psychic lunch. Psychic brunch,
second breakfast.
Psychic second breakfast with me and with Laura. If you want to get in touch with us, you can screenshot our email addresses. If you watched us anywhere that is not on the Bigfoot Outlaw YouTube channel, make sure you jump on there, give the channel a follow so that you can keep up with us at any time, and watch our entire back catalog as well. Lots of tarot, lots of fun, lots of psychic chat. We will see you again next week. Have an amazing 12/12 portal, as they're calling it. Have an amazing end of Mercury retrograde, and have an amazing full moon in Gemini over the weekend. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Thank you.
Bye.